bicycle ASMR. Hello and welcome to another bicycle ASMR video. Today I want to show you some footage from beautiful Slovenia, where I had the joy of cycling recently. Slovenia is not a big country, and some of you may not have heard a lot about it, but it's very impressive to see as a visitor. And there's a lot of different vistas to offer. With over 60% of it being covered in forests, it is one of the most forested countries in Europe. This was especially lovely for our trip because we were cycling during a particularly hot week of summertime. Cycling into a forest was always like a treat, with the air being so much nicer. We started our trip in the capital of Ljubljana after arriving by train, and went from there into the Julian Alps in the northwest of the country to cycle up some really nice mountain passes which rewarded us with some breathtaking views. On this trip, we didn't visit the sea, since we already got a taste of the Slovenian Adriatic coastline in a recent cycling trip around Istria. But you'll see more of that in a separate video I'm working on. Apart from the forests and mountains, we also got to visit one of Slovenia's many caves. It was a strange feeling climbing down to the entrance and feeling the air temperature drop with every step forward. We could also see the humidity of the hot summer air condense into a soft mist as the colder cave air couldn't hold as much water. The people we met were very lovely, and we got to spend a great evening with fellow cycling enthusiasts who had started to rent out wooden tiny houses in their garden. Another highlight were the crazy blue waters of the Socha River, which we met a few times as we were crossing from valley to valley. We spent the night in Mavic, which is popular for kayaking, rafting and canyoning, and parts of which you may have seen in one of the Narnia movies. Some areas are also popular for skiing in the winter. For example, the town of Kranjska Gora, where we stayed for a night. But it is far from quiet in the summer, with lots of hikers and cyclists around, and some nice open-air music going on in the evening. At least while we were visiting. Kranjska Gora is also the start of a family-friendly cycleway on an old train track along the Sava River. But we only stayed on that for a short bit, since our trip this time was more dedicated towards seeing some mountains and valleys and also experiencing some more adventurous gravel roads. But we kept revisiting the Sava River a bit later, when we followed it through a very narrow valley, which only contains a main road, some train tracks, and a small hidden trail, which was only about navigable without traveling bicycles. The train track along this valley, coincidentally, was the same track our train went on a few weeks earlier, when we were taking the train from Vienna to Trieste to Cyclistria. Sometimes while cycling, you also have to be prepared to take a little detour when you spot a special place. Like this little church that stands all alone on a hillside. After a great week, we ended our trip in the town of Maribor, which is a Slovenian favorite of mine for its lovely town center and great selection of food and high quality coffee. If you want, you can let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this style of video where I mix in some pictures, or if you prefer the more unedited version where it's just a cycling video. And with that, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, wherever you are in the world. Thank you. Thanks for watching.